Hello there, everyone. TheAndrata here, and welcome back to episode 28 of our All the Mods 7 Season 2 Let's Play series, where today we're working with Xnet, automating all of our fluid movement up top in our mob farms, doing a little bit of bug fixing, essentially. Shout out to a couple people, Andre Avenue and Rob Wolf, for some bug fixes that they, gave to us. And yeah, let's get started. Welcome back, my friends, to another wonderful day here in the world of TheAndrata. We're a couple updates on what we've got going on. Everything working fantastically. We have a new pack update. We are on version 0.4.30 now, which includes all the mods updates, as in all the mods have been updated, as well as a couple new additions. We have Refined Chisel, I believe. Not refined chisel, something chisel. Yeah, the chisel mod, re-chiseled. That's what it is. So we have chiseled blocks available again, which is great. I love chiseled blocks. They look fantastic. Much better than, not that I have anything against the chipped mod, but I generally prefer the chiseled blocks over the chipped blocks here. So we have that. There's a couple other new additions and everything, some changes, some bug fixes. Shout out to, oh man, I didn't pull it up. Give me 1 second. Let me pull this up real quick about the lighting issues that we've been having with our drawers. Rob Wolf mentioned that there is a config in the forge-client.toml file to enable experimental lighting updates or something like that. Anyway, it fixes the drawers. So now we don't have that funky darkness going on with all the drawers and everything like that. Now our drawers work great. Also, shout out to Andre Av, who commented on the last episode that it mentioned why our refined storage was having issues. Apparently, it is a known bug, and the bug has been around since 2020 with refined storage. Though I've never experienced it before. However, when you hook up an external storage to ender chests or ender tanks, it doesn't always happen, but sometimes it can happen where if you hook it up, it will stop working. Your refined storage, you will not be able to take anything out of your grids. Exporting stuff still works into chests and all that stuff, but accessing it through a grid does not work. So you have to have some sort of bypass or some sort of alternative. So that's what we have here. What I've done is I made simple black hole tanks from Industrial Foregoing. This is my general setup. If you've seen any of my series, this is generally how I set all this stuff up. So it's nothing too crazy new to any of you if you're familiar with how I set things up. But simple black hole tanks, they can hold 1,000 buckets of whatever liquid, and they are fully configurable. Just like any other Industrial Foregoing block, they can pull and they can push within themselves, which is exactly what I want. So what we have happening here is our ender tanks are pointing into each of the black hole tanks. And then our black hole tanks are set up to, everything's disabled except they're going to pull from the left here. And then their back is enabled because on the back there is a external storage set to liquids. And this solves the issue. Like we don't have any issues anymore pulling things out. So if you're following along and you're having issues and you have ender tanks hooked up to your refined storage system, that's the reason why it's not working. As soon as you disconnect that ender tank, everything will start working again. I believe the same applies to ender chests too, but this ender chest does not have an external storage set up on it. It has a importer set up on it. So it's not a issue in that regard because it's not actually accessing the inventory in this chest. It's just pulling everything out, if that makes sense. Anyway, as you can see, I kind of did a little bit of rearrangement down here. Just moved our dissolution chamber and netherite furnace over to the same spot, set them up properly, and then in the back, like I had mentioned, I moved our latex processing setup back here. So basically the exact same thing, except now refined storage has access to some of this stuff. But basically, we have our stripped spruce log. We have this cable that's going all the way back down and all the way below our block placer. And that guy is responsible for importing spruce into our block placer. So our system will always have spruce available to it. We have pipes that are doing the liquid movement. So it's extracting from all of these, and then it ends up dumping it all into our latex processing unit here. Latex processing unit is getting water from refined storage because we have that set up right here. We have a sink set up. One thing I want to mention with the sink when you do an external storage, change your access type to extract only. If you leave this on insert and extract, refined storage will try and insert fluids into your sink. Your sink is a black hole for any other fluids. So if you had tons of ether gas, your ether gas storage was full, it's going to try and dump that ether gas into the sink unless you blacklist this to only allow water. So just set it to extract only, not insert, so that refined storage doesn't void any of your fluids, because that would be terrible, because it happens. I don't, it may have even happened to me in the past and I just never noticed it before, but extract only. Anyway, so latex is going into there. From the bottom here, we have item pipes that are flowing all the way down over here to our crafter, which goes up to the top, which is where it dumps in our tiny dry rubber. It processes, then our tiny dry rubber comes all the way down and then imports into the bottom of our golden furnace. And then on the top of our golden furnace is an importer, so it imports the plastic. Bada bing, bada boom, infinite plastic generation going on without having to worry about anything. We're just going to get tons of plastic. I could limit it and say that stop when we have 256 plastic, but really it doesn't make a difference at all. All right, so let's go set up our stuff, because as you noticed, I only have 2 buckets of I have 59 meat, but I only have 2 buckets of pink slime, but I have more than that available. We need to get this process set up. And here is where my struggles lied and where we are going to change things up a little bit. So up here we have our mob farm, and then we have our passive mob farm, right? The issue that I have is that with our mob farm, I cannot replace these pieces of dark glass without allowing light in there. And if I were to set up a pipe and set up tanks here to allow filtering, it kind of sort of doesn't really work that well because we generate a lot less pink slime than we do the liquid meat. And so when the pink slime comes in, if it all gets sucked out into our tanks, we're not going to have any it's going to be empty. The tank for the pink slime will be empty, which means it's going to fill up with liquid meat and it's going to jam the entire system up. So what we're going to do is change things up, and we are going to set it up with our handy dandy friend Xnet. I've already ran all the cables as needed for this for Xnet. So basically what we have is an Xnet cable. Yes, an Xnet cable coming all the way into the bottom of each one of these that is set to do the things through the bottom. What I want to do real quick, I need to go down and go home. I need to get a bucket of each of the fluids out of this so that I can use them for filtering. So we need to get a bucket of pink slime. I must not have any buckets in the system. So let's grab a bucket of pink slime and a bucket of liquid meat. That way I can use them for filtering. And then we got to fly all the way back up here. Let's go. And then that way I can set this up. So we're going to use Xnet. If you've never used Xnet, TheAndrata is a massive fan of Xnet. It is one of the most fantastic mods in existence, and it allows for a lot of cool, crazy, super awesome stuff, automations essentially. So basically what we have is Xnet, we have cables, we have a controller, we have connectors all set up to do our thing. So let's start over here with our mob slaughter factory. Basically what I need to do, we're going to enable the bottom, and then we're going to just turn off everything else. So we're going to enable the bottom, turn off everything else. Okay. So we need to go ahead and start filtering out. So inside of our Xnet controller, everything Xnet is going to require a controller. You're going to need connectors, and it's also going to need power. I have power set up down here, the same power that we had before. It's set up, and then we have Xnet that's talking to it that can pull the power out. So the first channel that I always do anything Xnet is my power channel. So that's our power channel. And what we have is we have it set to extract from our flux point, and then it's inserting into all the machines that need power, the controller, the mob slaughter factories. Okay. So our next channel is going to be our extract channel. So let's go ahead and go for fluids. And we are going to extract from our mob slaughter factory, but which one? I don't know. Here's how we can find out. Double click it, and it's going to put a wireframe around the block. So the top one is going to be this one. So we don't want the top one. We want our bottom one, right? Bam. So that should be that one. So this is going to be our liquid meat extract. We'll call this liquid meat because we can actually double up our channels. Liquid meat extract. Okay. So on our mob slaughter factory, which is this one here, we are going to say, you, sir, you are going to be disabled for the moment, turning off processing. You're going to extract, and what you want to extract is liquid meat. So we're going to allow this to extract liquid meat. We then need to put it into a tank, and obviously not this tank, because this is our pink slime tank. So we need it to go into this one, which is that one there. So we're going to insert into this, and we are again going to filter this, insert liquid meat. The only thing that can come out of this is liquid meat. So if I turn processing on this, we should see that we are gaining liquid meat. Look, it's pulling in, and then it's getting dumped out into our simple black hole tank that we have out in our system because it's all set up with ender tanks. But look, we are out of liquid meat, which is what we want to see. So we can do the exact same thing over here. We can get our meat. We're going to enable the bottom. We'll disable the rest. Same thing. Bam. Okay. So what we want to do is say, hey, we are going to extract. We'll turn off processing on the channel again. We are going to extract liquid meat, and then we are going to insert liquid meat. Okay. So that means as soon as I turn on processing on this, our liquid meat should start draining. And then it's going to end up going into this tank, which these tanks are set. If you didn't know, Mechanism can auto drain its tanks if you use your configurator and you just shift right click. You see how it turns dark and then bright, though now I don't know what mode it's on because sometimes it wigs out on its cycling. There we go. Now it is set to drain anything that comes into this into the inventory that's attached to it below, which is our ender tank. So liquid meat will come into here and immediately drain into our ender tank, which is what we want to see happen, right? So then we need to do the exact same thing over here. So we're going to go ahead, fluid. This is going to be pink slime extract. We're going to turn off processing. We're going to say, hey, you're going to extract pink slime. You're going to extract pink slime. And then we're going to go to the other fluid tank because this is the other one. And you're going to insert pink slime. And we're filtering it out specifically to make sure that it doesn't ever get all wigged out. So now if we do this, we should have pink slime getting extracted and then going into our system here. Yes. And then this one should have extracted all the pink slime because, yeah. Apparently this one is working much faster overall for both liquid meat and pink slime. So this one is kind of superfluous. Doesn't really need to exist. It's not really doing much. And I don't know. I actually, now that I think about it, yeah, the grass does stop the spawning of entities. It grows grass, but it stops the spawning. So you really kind of need to have like a dispenser and a bucket of water. So you can have a bucket of water and then it'll push all the mobs, but it'll also get rid of all the water. I think I need to set that up too. So let's go ahead and do that real quick. Let's grab a dispenser. Oh, you know why? Because my bow that I had is sitting in here. Okay, so there we go. Let's do dispenser. Let's grab a bucket of water. Is it a dispenser or a dropper? Now that I think about it, I don't know. And a lever. We can put these buckets away. We don't need these anymore. But water does not stop the spawning, so we don't have to worry about that. But liquids do. Or, sorry. The grass stops the spawning of any of the entities. So what we need to do is punch a hole into this. We'll go like here. I need to get my dispenser set up on the outside. Oh, okay. I guess it faces you. I can also rotate it. I don't know why I'm not doing it correctly. So if we put our water bucket in here, I believe if I put a lever on the back of this and I do that, it'll dispense the water. Yes. So mobs should still be able to spawn, I believe. Maybe. Maybe not. Maybe the water does stop spawning too. Because if I hit the lever again, it should pick the water up, right? Or is that a dropper that does that? Maybe it's a dropper. Okay, well, anyway, whatever. It's really not generating that much, so does it really make a difference, TheAndrata? Does it matter, my friend? Not really, and it's also not really doing the work that I wanted it to anyway, so whatever. Okay, cool. Anyway, now we're getting pink slime and all that stuff in our system, which is what we needed for everything to to work. So now we can, check. We have 11 buckets of pink slime. So what are we going to use that pink slime for? Well, we need to use it to make ourselves some advanced machine frames. 500 millibuckets will get us going. So we just need to go and teach the system how to do this. And yep, we should have netherite scrap in the system, right? Yep. Okay. So ore laser base is going to require advanced machine frame. We have everything available for this. And then laser drill is a simple machine frame. And then this is where we're going to need all the modium, and we're going to need a little bit of vibranium, which I have not gone and gotten any extra vibranium out of the system or downstairs. We're going to need a total of what? 16 plus this one. So 24 total vibranium ingots, which kind of sort of honestly sucks a little bit, but that's okay. I'll mine that up in between episodes. I'll go to the other and go get that, because our miners are, they're working. They're doing stuff. Well, our Crimson Forest one isn't, because it doesn't exist anymore. But like if we go to the End Highlands, we can see here, and forgive me because we're going to have a ton of noise. I don't know why Apotheosis, the config, is not respected, and so it does not do what it's supposed to. But look, like we have all of this. Oh, look, it highlights them now with vision instead of putting a waypoint thing. Anyway, yeah, look, like there's all this stuff, but there's no unobtainium that I've found, and I don't know exactly where this is mining at next, because what is all this? This is like oil. And like, yeah, basically this is where we're at. We have a giant hole here, but I don't see anywhere else that it has started mining at. But it's somewhere. Oh, over here. I didn't even notice this. Do we have any unobtainium here, though? No. Oh, I didn't notice this whole area is getting... Look, we're getting this whole area chunked out. Okay. And then it looks like that's the end of the range. Man, that thing has a massive range. Here we go. Now we're finding it. Okay. And this is where it's at. All right. Oh, I was like, what the heck are those? Those are bats. Okay. Still no unobtainium. No extra unobtainium anywhere. So that's unfortunate overall. But it'll keep going, and we'll keep mining, and we'll keep getting stuff. Let's go ahead and see, where has it been then? Like, look at all this mess that we have. Yeah, it's basically just clearing out this giant section. And apparently most of that giant section, it looks like, is this void space here. So that's lovely. Ooh, what's this? Whoa, this is a Tinker's crystal block thing. This is like amethyst, but it's not amethyst. So it's like cheating, and it doesn't look great. Lovely, but it's kind of cool. I like it. But anyway, yeah, so this is where we're at with our miners. They're doing their thing. It's going. It's mining. It's doing the mining thing. Hopefully we get some more unobtainium as we go. We'll see what happens. But so far, no super duper luck. So anyway, that's that. But that's going to allow me to get my ore laser base and my ore laser drill. And then I'm debating if I want to upgrade my furnace downstairs to all the modium. I don't know. We don't have like a crazy amount of all the modium, but we have a decent amount. Once I get these ore lasers set up and get this going and mining vibranium and unobtainium, I think I'm going to prioritize vibranium at first. So let's do vibranium. We should be able to do, what is it? This. How do you get the chunks out of this, right? Yeah. So we're going to need a green laser lens. It has to be set up in the warped forest, which is fine. So we'll set this up in the warped forest, give it some power, and then we'll mine vibranium initially. After we get some vibranium, then we'll get another one. I'll just make another one, and then we'll work on getting unobtainium into our system for us. That way we have, everything being produced. And then eventually all the modium. We could probably do all the modium now, but that one's easy. Like our miner that we have going on here in the mining dimension, this guy's just clearing out. Like, look at all this. Look at all the modium that we have. Like, this is not a concern to me, all the modium. It's the other materials, because they're not as easy to mine, because I can't just set up a miner that just goes forever. I mean, yes, in the end Highlands I can, but it's not as convenient as the mining dimension. It'd be kind of nice if after you, which I don't know how it would work, but like after you unlock vibranium or unobtainium, it shows up in the mining dimension for you. But I mean, that would also be kind of OP, so I get why it doesn't. But yeah, anyway. And all these gaps that we keep having here, this is because when I load into the world, the chest sometimes the what's it called? What's the external storage, because I have to restart refined storage for it to access occultism, gets stuck, and then I don't notice right away, and so then we end up with a massive pillars of unmined stuff. But it's fine, we're still getting tons of stuff. It really doesn't make that much of a difference now, does it? But anyway, so that's that. So vibranium, unobtainium should become, we should be able to get those next episode. I'll go to go mine up and go find. Remember, I have my charm of vibranium sight, so I should be able to get that. And now that I have Fortune 7 on a pickaxe, I should be able to get it much easier than I was before, because we were only getting one at a time out of each of the ores. So yeah, basically that's where we're at. So if you enjoyed today's episode, please feel free to like, comment, subscribe. Nice Xnet tutorial beginnings. Xnet is extremely powerful. You can do a lot of stuff, and I use it heavily because it's great. It works fantastically. It's lag friendly. It has a lot of options for movements and stuff like that, and all kinds of stuff. So yeah, Xnet, big fan. Anyway, thanks for stopping by. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Have a good one.